very stunning costume, probably not the most comfortable thing in the world.
What do you mean by that?
Well,
scaly aquamarine condom I had to wear.
She said that on live TV, and for some reason, it was still surprising to a lot of people that this same person was organizing sex parties. Well, another Hollywood executive has just weighed into that particular case, and they had quite a lot to say on the story. And the kick of it in this particular case is that Johnny's name has somehow found its way into the whole thing, and now it's become an unending sequence of surprises. Interested in learning the new details that have come up in that case? Then hold your hats, because it's going to be a bumpy ride with this one. I mean, we could blame her constant need to be inebriated, or maybe drugs, but it just seems like there's no limit to Amber Heard and the activities she partook in the past. And this has now come up again in the news, as the sex parties fiasco has now been brought up by industry veterans, and she just might have buried her career with her own hands. You see, one thing that's been consistent with this whole Depp Heard issue is that a lot of celebrities, especially executives in the entertainment industry, have stirred away from it, but upon most of the revelations that have come up in recent times, particularly concerning Amber, many of them have started to lend in their voice. And this is especially true about the sex parties debacle that came up with Amber's name at the center of it. It is so bad that these executives are saying that she has literally become just a sordid part of Hollywood history. And this is a description that comes after she had already been getting blacklisted from projects. Talk about a rough time. Well, this new revelation just started to make waves all over social media when inside sources from the inner circle of Hollywood's elite issued their thoughts on the Aquaman star with the pop topic, starting by talking about some of the negative effects the entire legal case has had on Amber's career. The insider then went on to speak about some of the less than ideal revelations about the actress that have now come up in the time following the trial. They said, anybody who is anybody in Hollywood has heard of Amber's wild orgies, and sadly that means Depp knew too. He knew, and it was slowly killing him. As I mentioned earlier, Depp's name has now come in this whole thing, as these executives actually felt horrible that the Pirates of the Caribbean star had to put up with all of these secret layers to Amber's not-so-pretty side. In fact, they seem to believe it was also what led him to becoming dependent on those ugly substances. Specifically, they added, he didn't want to confront Heard, he just ran away, went on benders to try and kill his emotions and thoughts with drugs and alcohol. Well, the talks on Amber Heard didn't end there. In fact, you could easily say that's only where it began. The insider continued to reveal some of the indications the industry had been giving on the direction Amber's career has been going. Most big studios began distancing themselves from Amber Heard after the messy divorce simply because they didn't want to upset Johnny Depp by hiring her. Things, though, changed when she made those allegations against him. The tables surely did turn. But now, after the trial, and after all the new leaks coming out about Heard's past, and even her present, Hollywood has had enough. A lot of us were actually pretty shocked when we found out that Amber Heard had been cast as Mira in the Aquaman movies, not because of the Johnny Depp situation, but because she's not a great actress. A casting that is also currently still being questioned by millions of people. Specifically, 4.6 million people have now signed a petition to have her removed from that very film. And even though it's looking like the studio isn't budging, the industry executives, according to the insider, still believe that as a lead character in the movie, she's still less than a B-list actress. They said, I would hesitate to even call her B-list. Also, being one of the leads in the film and only banking approximately $2 million for the part, that just doesn't seem right. All of these got a lot of fans talking, and while you would expect them to be out for Amber, many of them were actually just more focused on Johnny. One user wrote, I can't possibly put into words how happy I am that Johnny got away from her, with his life intact. Well, the only thing that could bring them together now is either the appeal or her having to pay what she owes, and we'll find out which will take the center stage soon enough. Remember that these are based on theories and research and should be considered as such. That's it for now, guys. See you on the next one.